This training will provide an installation overview of Daktronics LVX-Series displays, including the LVX-2130, LVX-2160, and LVX-2800. Installation begins with uncrating the display. While uncrating, check to ensure the display and components have not been damaged in shipping. Locate the installation parts and tools behind the bottom left door. Do as much preparatory work as possible while the displays are on the ground and easily accessible. Move the mounting components to the approximate location of the structure's uprights and evenly distribute the splice plates. Here is a look at the back of the LVX display, including the access doors, spare parts locations, lift eyes, power entrance, power turn panel, and light sensor connection. Begin by installing the bottom display section. Verify the lift eyes and set bolts are secure, and then attach the crane to the lift eyes of the bottom section. After the crane is attached to the lift eyes, ensure the angles are greater than 55 degrees. Fly the bottom section into place and attach it to the structure. The display is attached to the structure using rocker clamps. Prior to mounting, ensure the structure uprights are plumb and level, and that there are no obstructions between the mounts and the structure, and no obstructions on the display mounting surface. Next, measure the uprights on the structure head and space the mounting clamps on the back of the display to match. Mount the display by tightening the nuts of the rocker clamp using a 1/2-inch drive ratchet and 1 1/16-inch socket. Tighten the nut of the rocker clamp until it is snug tight, which is defined by the criteria shown here. After tightening, use a permanent marker to mark the nut position on one of the corners of the nut and the rocker clamp. Next, use a breaker bar to tighten the nut by turning it clockwise 1 full revolution. If you tighten it more than 1 full revolution, leave it over-tightened. Do not loosen the nut to align the marks. If the nut is severely over-tightened, it is necessary to replace the hardware. Move to the other side of the I-beam and complete these steps on the adjacent rocker clamp. Complete the mounting steps on all the remaining rocker clamp mounting connection points, and then remove crane support from the display section. Use a 7/16-inch wrench to remove the bolts holding the lift eyes in the bottom section together into the display. Slide the two pieces of the lift eye past each other and lift them out of the channel. Place the lift eyes in the spare parts location for future use if necessary. Lift the top section off the truck using the lifting procedure described earlier in this training. Place the top section over the bottom section. Lower the top section to the bottom section. To avoid damage during installation, do not move the vertical splice tubes into place until after the top section is secured to the bottom. Use the splice wrench supplied with the display to align the display sections. Ensure the splice wrench is properly engaged into the splice channel. While aligning the display with the splice wrench, verify the LEDs on both display sections align with each other. If the LEDs are more than 1/4 of an LED out of alignment, further adjustment with the splice wrench will be needed. Position the bolts so they can easily be slid into place once the plate is in position. Slide into the channels to secure the top half to the bottom half. Position bolts so they can easily be slid into place once the plate is in position. Slide the bolts into the channels to secure the top half to the bottom half. Next, we will connect the signal cables. Connect the signal splice cables from the top section to the bottom section. Refer to the provided signal drawings for details specific to your installation. Here's a look at the steps to connect power to the display. Begin by opening the power entrance and then connect conduit to the 2-inch Myers hub on the bottom of the power entrance on the back of the display. Connect the primary power lines to the appropriate taps in the enclosure. Refer to the label on the enclosure for the wiring diagram. Each section of the display will have a ground lug. Connect the grounding electrode to the ground lug on each section. Next, mount the fiber optic patch panel within 10 feet of the rack location. Connect the 10-foot fiber cable between the patch panel and fiber port A on the back of the VIP unit. Place the show control computer at the operator location and then connect it to power. Connect the supplied network cable to the computer network jack and then route and connect it to the router located in the control rack. Connect the fiber optic cable between the fiber patch panel in the control location and the fiber patch panel at the base of the structure. Next, connect the provided fiber patch cable between the fiber patch panel at the base of the structure and the sign. Refer to the display documentation for more information on internal signal connection. Here is a look at a shop drawing for an LVX-Series display. You will receive a shop drawing similar to this for your installation. Reference installation manuals and drawings prior to installing your display.